Shalom, shalom, all praise to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Recha HaKodash. Call Halayim La, Alahayanawa, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Recha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, that's GMS, who teach and rule well, peace, love, and much salutations to the Akim Wa'akwat, especially the Akim that labor week in and week out, to make their bodies a living sacrifice to wake up the hopeful elect. Shalom. And it's November, and I believe it's November the 2nd right now. And I'm on my way to a clothing store, namely Burlington Coat Factory. And as I'm coming out, as I'm walking to my car, I observed a family, family of four, I believe. And as I looked, there was a young man, staring at me with an intense look, and I perceived this family, and I just, as I'm looking, as they leave, getting out the cars and leaving, I just perceived that there was no man. I can tell they was on their way to church it's Sunday morning, and I'm not sure, but from the spirit of it, I perceived that there was no man in the household, because that's average in America, man. Esau, did a good job with, destroying, the so-called black community, the Israelite community, using that black woman, man. But this child was staring at me with an intense look, you know, you know, as if he was saying, man, like, he's like, somebody can speak with their eyes. They don't have to say words out of their mouth, but they can speak with their eyes, and I perceive like they need a man in the family. It's becoming, no, it is a normal thing in Babylon now. It's actually abnormal, but now they've made it a normal thing for no man to be in a household. And I don't have a title for this video, but the spirit hit me that men of the Lord is going to be highly sought for. You can see the spirit in Babylon. The average household doesn't have a man, doesn't have a covering, doesn't have, how much more an elect man? These women going to be looking for men time to come, man. And this is a quick one, man. Lord willing, this lesson, it's a quick lesson, real quick, man. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the elect, which are Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, 12,000 from each tribe. Some are in the spirit world, some are on the earth. Shalom to you, man, and Lord willing, this few minutes that, will be edifying. A man of the Lord is going to be highly sought for, man. These women are destitute of men. It's going to be a high, high quality. It's going to be, man, I can't even find the words to use, but, examining the spirit of what I see in Babylon, and I know many of you brothers see it also, man. It's getting ready to get real grimy in these streets. And it's going to turn the hearts of women from saying, I don't need a man, till I need a man desperately. It's going to be a high demand for men. And what the Lord is doing is getting rid of the undesirables, the 2/3, disobedient, froward Israelites that just walking around destitute of this truth. The Lord is sending them back to the spirit world, man. Because if you're not doing the work of the Lord, if you're not serving the Lord some kind of way, you're in the way. You just matter. You just space. You waste of space. And if you ain't doing this, man, you're doing wicked. The Lord is wiping out the earth right now, man. And if you understand ratio, just in Atlanta alone, they say it's 10-1, but I believe it's more. But worldwide, you will always see women outnumber men. Prior to this day, yesterday, I saw another family, man. The lady the mother perceiving to be an Edomite. She could be a Jake, but from the looks of it, she perceived to be an Edomite. The average characteristics of an Edomite, but she could be a Jake in the spirit. She could be a Jacob. Her nationality might go back to Jacob. And her daughters also, perceived to be Edomites. Okay, and they look like they wasn't in the best condition, because there's a lot of Edomites out here starving now. But the little girl walked up to me and say, you're a good man. But I wanted to say, there's none good but the Father. But I had to hold my peace on that, man. And some of these children can see through the spirit, man. Like, a man is needed, in the household, because Esau and the Israelite woman did a good job with destroying the family dynamics. And what's going to happen is now the serpent is turning his back on the Israelite woman, because for so long, the Israelite woman depended upon, Esau, Edom, for welfare. All the things that come with welfare. But what she didn't know is the serpent is going to cut her off. This is why you're hearing women talking about how they're going to steal in the grocery stores if they don't receive SNAP EBT. Child daycare expenses is getting way more expensive. Food is going up. Jobs are few. And it's more. And as time progresses, when AI continue to, increase its ability, they will replace jobs here in the Babylon, man, and all around the world. Okay? And eventually, it's already that way now, but eventually, it's going to get way more dangerous for women to be able to walk the streets of Babylon, to walk these major cities, to have freedom to, go about. The scriptures say, give no water passage, and women, a woman, freedom, liberty to gather abroad, man, to keep her in straitly. A woman is to be monitored at all times, whether it's by her father and her husband. And because they destroyed the dynamics, that's going to be a snare. What they love so much is going to become a snare. And will leave children also vulnerable, man. Isaiah 32:1, behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, and princes shall rule in judgment. Verse 2, and a man shall be as an hiding place. Now, it say a safe place and a BBE. A safe place from the wind. What does the wind represent? The wind represents destruction. and a covert. A covert is a covering, as you can see, and a cover in the BBE from the storm. A man will be a covering, right? A man will be a hiding place from the destruction, and not just any man. We speaking an Israelite man. A man will be highly sought for in times to come. Okay? There's already a band of women that's been rejected. They can't get a date. Can't get a man to pay attention to them. Men are holding back on resources, traveling overseas to find foreign women. You know, not able to spend money because of what? The times we living in. Recession, you know, which going to lead to depression. The whole energy is out here, and I love it too, man. The energy that's floating today, I love it. You know, because we see that the Lord is working. His work is in progress. And it's set in the stone. And it's going to happen. None shall go void. You know, none of his prophecy shall go void. And also he has the prophets out here, like the scriptures say. Before the prophecy spring forth, they tell you of them. And we told you that times is going to get grimy. But you women kept revoking and revoking and revoking against the man. You exalted yourself, your status above the man, your proudness, you know, their stoutness, that proudness that you have. All of that is getting ready to be humbled. Because the Lord is getting ready to bring a heavy judgment on this place. Now, as I'm walking out of the store, you can see here at Burlington, that's the family right there. The dude, the boy was staring at me the whole time. I don't know if you can make out to the left of the screen. There's a girl. In the middle, there's another girl. And in front of the young man is the mother. Looked like they on the way to church. The dude stood back. I'm talking about from the time he got out the car until the time that he went in the store, he was staring. Okay? I want to grab something real quick. I should have had this pulled up, but let's continue. Bear with me. To show you what kind of time you gotta be absolute with this app. See if it pops up. There it is. It say 2 Ezra 16 and 32. And the earth shall be laid waste. Why? Because of the ICBM missiles, which are the sword of the Lord, man, which is the instruments for destruction. The missiles, right along with the chariots, are going to be instrument used for the complete destruction of Esau, Edom. And the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel therethrough. You see that? And that represent the time of destruction, the time where the Lord is going to be wiping out man upon the face of the earth for all the wickedness. You know? Won't be no man to be able to cut the grass. To be able to, you know, when you know, ancient times they used garden tools and machetes and all kind of blade instruments to till the ground, to cut the trees so you can live in a certain habitation. And her ways, in all her ways, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns. Right? Because no man shall travel there through, man. Why? Because the Lord is deleting the wicked man. Verse 33, the virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The bridegroom is a husband. You know? The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. And in the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed. You're going to have a band of men that are not a part of the elect getting drafted to the armies, getting destroyed. Because this fight is going to be, you know, the end of all wars. And their husbands shall perish of famine. Famine are coming, man. Famine is prophesied in the scriptures, man. So the men that are here, man, is not going to be able to deal with all the virgins and the women who don't have husbands, okay? And first of all, in that day, women gonna be basically a burden. Be more of a burden. Right now, you know, these women got high demands. You know, they got somewhat of a job. They've been cut of these jobs, man. Hey, this is the beginning of woes, man. This is the beginning of the destruction, man. And a man of the Lord is going to be highly sought for, man. You know, a man of the Lord, look at this. Family with no man, You know, from the spirit of it, I can just tell that there was no man there. I could be wrong. But, you know, the look that the young man gave me, like, hey, we need a man. You know? I even have a young man that, you know, on the school bus trying to hook me up with his mom. Because these women are destitute, man. They are basically forsaken. You know? This is Isaiah chapter 13 and 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. The Lord is going to make a man way more. Gold is a precious thing. Gold is, you know, money is, you know, not this money, but true money is backed by gold. Gold is a form of currency. Gold has many healing properties, you know. Gold is a beautiful, precious metal that the Lord created, man. You know. But a man gonna be more precious than a treasure case, man. You know, Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man. Why? Because the days are going to be so dangerous and furious, right? And you're going to have a lot of men outside this truth getting put to death. That women, and there's way more women that's going to be seeking for a man. Okay, they're not going to worry if you got another wife. They're not going to worry, as it say, we will eat our own bread. They're not going to worry about you for being able to provide food. They're going to provide that, man. And wear our own apparels. They going to, hey, you ain't got to buy me clothes. I got my own clothes. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. You see that? In that day shall 7 women. Now that number 7 represent wholeness, completion. So that may not be a literal 7. It might be 10, it might be 100, or whatever number. A complete number of women are gonna seek after one man. It ain't gonna be no thing of you see the rumors now about how women coming on social media saying, you know, you got to get comfortable with sharing a man. See, the Lord, hey, you just say this conversation. Last I can remember, before COVID, before, you know, 2016, you didn't hear conversations like that. Even though it's going on anyway. You know, the average man got about 5 baby mamas. You know, the average Israelite man, got about 5, 6 baby mamas. So it's happening anyway, but the Lord is going to increase the numbers. That's what he means by he's going to make a man more precious than fine gold, meaning it's going to be a shortage of men. And these streets are, hey, the Lord, wherever the Lord may have men of the Lord, they're going to be few. You see? That's all I got on that. Shalom.